Welcome to everybody who's coming to the call live, which is exciting. I'm going to go to this call here, I think. All right. Well, hopefully it's live streaming, it says. So a massive welcome to everybody who's spending the time coming to this call today. And whether you're here today or whether you watch the recording, my hope for you is that you do gain some hope from this call. We have the beautiful couple from America, Jesse and Erika Dale, and it's such a massive honor to speak to these guys today. The reason for my call today, the reason for asking these guys to come in is really based around males' mental health, actually. It is just increasingly ridiculous that suicide rates are going up, young males especially, and in the industry that we're in. Yes, we're in network marketing, everybody knows that. Let's blow it up and say it, because it's a damn great industry that we're in. But unfortunately, it does have a little bit of a, like, you know, without being rude to Tupperware, like the Tupperware party sort of feel, you know. So there's not a lot of guys in the industry, and we really need more, because I feel like men connect better with men. You know, they've got a lovely wife or a nagging wife at home talking all day, and then they've got enthusiastic people like myself and Erika coming along going, oh my gosh, have you seen this amazing primetime video? You need to look at these products. And they're like, yeah, no, I'm not really interested. But when we get guys like Jesse who are passionate about helping other people coming to share the story, I think it's really much more powerful. So if you have a loved male in your household or your family or friend, please tag them in this video and share it. I'm going to get straight into the reason why I feel like Jesse is credible to share his story, specifically in the gym industry, because Jesse was previously gym owners. They had their gyms. They've got a micro millionaire company that do all the nutrition. Jesse's a nutritionist, nutrition junkie, shall I say, but expert, and also a sports scientist. So super credible. And I'll just hand it over to you guys to tell your story about how you got, you know, as a gym owner, you would know everyone comes with their lotion, their potion. Hey, try this shake, try that. And I understand that you guys don't want to put your name to everything, and that makes so much sense. But what was the difference between everything else and when you saw the products that our biotech company have? Welcome, guys. Take it away.
Awesome. Well, Andrea, thank you so much for having us on. Hello, Australia. Love it. So yeah, exactly what you were saying. We owned 4 gyms, and I would actually have my receptionist kind of weed out. I'm like, if they are selling an MLM product, I don't want to hear it. And like, they had to get through like several levels to get to me, and very few did. And the ones that did, it just wasn't a good, experience. And the reason for that was, there were 2 reasons. One, I had seen and been familiar growing up in the gym industry since I'm 18. I mean, that's just a product industry. They push a lot of products. And I was familiar with a lot of the products that were pitched to me from the MLMs. And they had a lot of them good ingredients in them. But what I noticed is they do something that's called in the supplement industry called pixie dusting, where you put in like a tiny minuscule amount of a good research product just to say that molecule or that element is in your product, so it must work, when in reality you needed like 1,000 times the amount that they put in there to cut costs to actually have an effect. So when I met Erika, she had shown me the product, and she had said, it's funny, I was studying this at the time, and I was studying free radical production and oxidative stress for muscle recovery. You know, I'm a big meathead, so I wanted to win bodybuilding shows. So any edge that I can get in the research, I was going to implement. And she said that, hey, this is going to help reduce oxidative stress. And I immediately perked up and leaned in. And then when she showed me the peer-reviewed studies, it was just lights out, no brainer. I'm like, okay, order it up. I'm in. So that was just no sales pitch needed. The research sold itself. PubMed is a very respectable, credible journal. And to have, I think at the time it was like 27 peer-reviewed studies. I know it's more now. So yeah, that was just incredible. The second point of skepticism I had is I just didn't see anyone ever make money in the industry. And then, of course, I went and saw Erika do what she did. So I'm a believer, man. I'm an evidence-based person. The evidence is there. And yeah.
And I'll be honest with you guys. I've told this to several people in LifeVantage. When this opportunity was brought to me, I had experience in the network marketing industry. I was burnt out. I didn't think I wanted to do it again. And at this time in 2015, I was working for Jesse. I was managing his gyms. And for me to put my name to this, it needed to be something I could promote inside the gym, right? I already established relationships with members there. I was already asking them to purchase a gym membership, to purchase personal training. And if I was going to ask them to then purchase product, it needed to be something that really would benefit them. And I watched that ABC Primetime Investigative Report. And to be honest with you, I didn't get it. I watched that 10-minute clip and was like, I don't know how in the world, how am I going to promote this to people? Because I wasn't the science person. And I took it to Jesse to be able to go back to the person that brought it to me and say, yeah, Jesse said, no, this isn't real. This is a gimmick. This is a fad. And when he took a look at that video and gave me the green light because he understood the science of oxidative stress, I was like, all right, I guess I am jumping back into network marketing because the scientist over here, the nutritionist over here gave me my green light.
And Andrea, you mentioned something at the beginning of the call. Normally when I'm on these calls, it's from, it's a bunch of guys or gals, and they're like, hey man, how do I get muscular? How can I recover? And it's more on the athletic side. But you mentioned something so key. I just gave a presentation on this for a business men's mentoring group that I'm in. You mentioned the mental health. IU School of Medicine released a paper in 2019. We're community associates with them, so I was able to get my hands on this paper a little bit ahead of time. And it was basically talking about the serotonin, dopamine, adrenaline loop. Okay, so those three neurotransmitters work together in feelings of well-being, feelings of accomplishment. And this paper showed that when your serotonin production is blunted, you tend to deal and be more susceptible to mental illness, depressive states, and things of that nature. And when you take it a further look, most people think serotonin is produced in the brain, in the pituitary, where most of our hormones are. The majority of your serotonin is actually produced in your gut. So when you look at diving into some of the microbiome studies and some of the things that involve gut health, which a lot of that is reducing inflammatory markers, inflammatory cytokines. So that's huge. And so when you look at our gut health, our probiotic and prebiotic compounded with reducing oxidative stress and reducing inflammation through protandem, that's really exciting when you put those together from a mental health standpoint. And I'm telling you, we typically, just because of the foods we eat, especially here in America, we typically just don't have good gut health. And I think that's
100%.
Yeah.
And with all that, the environmental stresses and everything that's just gone on in the last 2 years, if people have been into whatever's happened, your gut health is likely in a state that really needs some help. Now, obviously, this is not a call that's going to give you the answers to claim to cure, treat, mitigate, or any kind of disease. But honestly, we are just offering the opportunity to put away your pre-existing thoughts about MLM, about, oh, this is too good to be true, and just go back to the person who invited you and ask them to show you on a deeper level. Because when you do take that ABC Primetime video or any of the science to your health nut that you have, like you had Jesse, the likelihood of them being able to say to you, wow, this is really something different. It's not like everything else. Yes, we do MLM, but we're a biotech company with something special. And we could sit and talk about the science behind our products all night long, and I certainly could, but we can make maybe a series of videos where we actually touch on each one of our products and what they do if people are interested in that. Because on this call we have like we want to talk to gym owners, we want to talk to the guys who do want to build muscle, who are looking for that extra edge, but we also want to talk to people that are just so completely lost, like, oh my gosh, I'm at that point of that mental stability is looking a bit rocky and I really need some help. And getting activated on Protandim, NRF2, or on the Trust Synergizer radically reduces those inflammations in the gut, in the brain, and it does help you function better. The Axio, I mean, we've just had that launch. I was just saying to Erika, it's just been absolutely amazing. The reception of Axio in the country. And I personally have sold a radical amount of Axio and had amazing stories coming back from people, children all the way to old folk. So we have got a range of answers for people, but for this particular call, we're going to keep talking about specific bodybuilders, gyms, like you particularly on the previous call that I heard you saying, you know, aging has got two problems. And one of those is brain health and the other is the skeletal muscle problem. And, you know, those are also problems when you're under attack of certain things like autoimmune or even mental health, because when your mental health is low, you don't necessarily want to go work in the gym. You know, you
Right.
need to, but you don't want to. Just a quick introduction for myself personally and how I even got here. I was not in MLM at all. I'm a traditional business owner, originally from South Africa. I moved to Australia with my husband and my then 1-year-old, who's now 14. And we were busting our guts, working so hard on a business owner visa. And my husband fell extremely unwell. We were physical workers. We work on the tools every day. So it started to affect his everyday work. Long story short, we went through a lot of testing and finally found out he had an autoimmune disease called ankylosing spondylitis. And like I said, I'm not claiming to cure, treat, mitigate, or anything, but the normal realm of people said you'll be in a wheelchair and you'll be injecting medication every 2 weeks for the rest of your life. And Sean's mental health state went down to below 0. And he actually wanted to give up on life because he couldn't foresee a future in a wheelchair. And by absolute miracle chance, I literally prayed on my hands and knees for a 1-pill miracle, not knowing there was such a thing. I just asked for that. And 2 weeks later, got introduced to Protandim in the most unbelievable event. Long story short, again, 4 months after he was activated, all the pain left his body. And 6 years later now, I think we've been 6 years, and he's 48, biologically probably 38, fitter and healthier than ever before. The mental state is up, like in a perfect position, and I 110% put it down to LifeVantage and the products that they've so duly developed, working hard, developing all these right things. So that's our story. And so I came into this whole thing blind. Like when I found out it was MLM, I actually cried because I was like, oh, it's that thing. Oh no. But we'd already had such an amazing result on the product, and people were seeing Sean, asking me, what have you done? How did you fix that? How did you do that? And so my business became a business organically. And so I share powerfully with no apologies that this is definitely something that every single person should at least take a look at. I don't mind if you take it or you don't, but put away all your preconceived ideas and just take a look, because there is power inside here and there is hope for a better future. So getting back to the aging problem, because that's where we're all getting to, whether you're 20 and you're watching the call, or 60, you're aging, you're older than you were yesterday. And we all want to get to a place where we can care for ourselves as best we can in those later years, so we don't succumb to the system, you know. So I'll hand it back to you on those two aging problems. You went into a little bit of detail on that, and then a little bit of detail on the 4 components of building muscle. So talking around that skeletal muscle decline if we don't address it, let's say.
Yeah. So when you look at the anti-aging, and I'll just kind of look at the Protandim, you're going to be looking at really 2 things that force us to age. Oxidative stress is one, and then our ability to produce certain hormones. Testosterone would be one that would be on the front of mind for me. That's for males and females. That starts to decline typically when you're about 27. It just starts to decline very, very little on a year-to-year basis. Then couple that with maybe not so good of serotonin production or good gut health. You have a double-edged sword. So you don't have the testosterone that really is driving you to get into the gym, but you also don't have the motivation to want to get into the gym more. So you just kind of stop going, or it tapers off. So what does Protandim have anything to do with testosterone production? So sleep is our great hormonal regulator. If you're they've done studies on like shift workers or people that work and break up their circadian rhythm. They have really, really poor hormonal panels that can cause a lot of, or hormonal rhythms that can cause a lot of issues. So sleep is kind of that great regulator. And one of the things that I noticed with Protandim, which I believe is validated by the research as well, is you get better REM sleep. So when I started taking Protandim, I started having these weird dreams, and I'm asking Erika, what's with the dreams? And she goes, they're no more weirder than they were before. You're just actually getting in and having quality sleep where you're dreaming. So I wasn't even dreaming before, so therefore I wasn't recovering as well. My hormonal rhythms weren't as optimal as they could be. And that's why people tend to get a good energy jolt, or not jolt, but a good energy uptake when they start that, is they just get better recovery and better sleep. Yeah,
that was the first thing I think we both noticed was sleep and energy.
And with that, I started taking this 2017. 2015. Okay. In 2017, I get blood work done routine, and my testosterone actually was super low. And they're like, man, you've got to get on therapy. This is really low. You're going to start having real bad symptoms. And I was great. I was winning bodybuilding shows, bench pressing Buicks, bench pressing cars or whatever. So I'm like, no, I'm fine. They tested me 6 months later. My testosterone was even lower, and I still had no symptoms. So I basically went 2.5 years with very, very low testosterone. Actually, my testosterone wasn't low. I produced an enzyme that binds to free testosterone, to total testosterone, rendering it obsolete. So it's actually, that was the issue. But anyway, the point of the matter is I had the energy from taking Protandim. I was recovering. I was putting on muscle, despite not having a very good hormonal environment to do that.
Yeah,
that was, and I have those blood tests to this date, and I show people. I'm like, hey, these are the shows I'm winning. I was doing this on this testosterone level, and they're floored. They're like, how? So I really didn't want to tell a lot of my fellow competitors about Protandim. I felt like it was like my unfair advantage, but of course I did.
Yeah, I understand. It was the same for me with running. As soon as I got activated, all of a sudden I was faster, and I was like, whoa, I'm so excited, but I don't know if I want to tell the people that I'm competing against at all. But then they come with their injuries and their stories, and you just have to, isn't it? Because the more people in this world that we can help be healthier and live a better life, like, wouldn't the world be a great place? So so on that, speaking of the sleep and the hormone environment and the recovery, that's those 4 components that you mentioned. For those that are listening, looking for the interest around the muscle building and stuff, because that is what you guys have done in your competitions, the stimulus, you know, tearing down the muscle, then obviously the substrate protein, which is building up, and the other two keys, which are the hormone environment and the recovery, which is the one that's declining with age, which is the one that we really are assisting when we activate our bodies. Because this is not a supplement. For those who don't know anything about our products, it's not a supplement, it's an activation system. So switching on pathways in your bodies that were already working, like Jesse said, that testosterone is like switching off at 27, switching things back on, okay? And that REM sleep, the hormone regulator, that's massive for men and women. We have so many ladies that are talking about menopause and really hormone imbalance and stuff. And unfortunately, if you haven't paid attention to it in your early 20s, even getting your, they say, go and get your test done so you can see what your normal range is. Well, your normal range was when you were 27, just like you said. It's the same for women. So if you didn't get that test done, you actually don't know what your real marker should be. And then you're going to take all these hormone replacement things, which is asking your body to ingest something that maybe you don't need. But when you activate your body, you're switching on the pathways in your body that's going to work perfectly for yourself, perfectly for me, perfectly for everybody. So just getting back to your competition days, because what Erika has said before, which is amazing, and I've seen it with some of my own clients as well, is that you had that huge gap between competitions. I think it was like a 7-year gap. So you were competing at your peak, having a great time, and then, you know, thinking, oh, well, I'm, you know, past the age group that it should even be official. I know you mentioned your 4-plate press as well. That was like unheard of. I have a sports scientist who's staying with me at the moment from Liverpool, and after the call I asked him about the 4-plate press and told him about your age and all that, and he was like, wow, well that is pretty impressive. So just for those guys that are doing competitions, or, you know, and you don't even have to be in competition, you should always be in competition with yourself to improve yourself 1% better every day. So whether you are actually competing or just going to the gym, or even just whatever your movement looks like, whatever your helping your body looks like. What is a 4-plate press? Robin asks. It's so Jesse can tell you.
No, yeah, there was a 10-year difference between
Wow.
bodybuilding. So I had competed in whatever the year was, but I was 34-ish. No, 32 around.
It was 7 years.
Oh, 7 years. Okay, so yeah, 33.
2018.
Then I took 7 years off, and when I turned 40, she was getting ready for a show. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it along with her, you know. And I had my best career year at 40 that I've ever had. The 4 plates. So I also did competitive powerlifting, and I competed at 181. I'm not sure what that translates to kilos, but 181 pounds. So maybe 70 kilos. And, you know, when you're a little kid here in America and you're powerlifting, it goes from 1 plate, which is 135. That's 1 45-pound plate on the bar. Then you get into like the 2-plate club, which is 2 45 pounds, which is 225. Then, you know, normally most people that are 200 or less don't get into the 3-plate, but some get into the 3-plate, 315. Well, it was always my goal to do 405 pounds, which would be 4 plates, 4 45-pound plates on each side. It was just always my goal to press that. But I didn't reach it, kind of put my heavy lifting days behind me. And this happened very recently with this year. Started taking the collagen. The reason I stopped lifting heavy is muscular system was good. Recovery was great. Sleep is good. Energy is good. But the joints, you know, I competed in powerlifting and CrossFit and things of that nature for a while. And it just puts a beating on the joints. So I didn't want to go heavy. I've never had to have surgery or anything. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to not train heavy. Well, a buddy of mine just kind of like pushed me. It's like, hey man, let's see what you bench, bro. So I did like 365, and I couldn't believe it. Just the ease and the joint the joint pain was just not there. So I'm like, you know what, man, I'm not going to put any more. I'm not going to test my luck. But a few weeks later, he really pushed me. He goes, man, that looked so easy. I want you to try the 405. I'm like, all right, man, but you got to realize I used to train for this. You know, we had the bench press shirts on, the spandex, and, you know, get all psyched up for competition. And here I'm just in the gym, you know, my buddy daring me to do it. And yeah, lo and behold, 405 came up, no problem. And my body weight was less than 200. So that it was, and that's the collagen right there. My joints, yeah, I know we like the nice young looking skin and stuff like that, but the joint relief has just been absolutely incredible. I'm back to training heavy. I'm 44 now, just absolutely incredible.
I love how you say I'm 44 now, like that's old. I mean, for 44 for us activated folk is like 24. We're just getting, we're just getting to it. Hey, and collagen is launching here in Australia on the 4th of March. And honestly, we can't wait. Like I just got some, I have to have a show off because I just got my, I don't even know. Of course you can't see it because of my thing, but I just got some in again for my husband, because everything the reason why we are activated and the reason why we're pursuing this is because no matter what, he's still going to have that gene for that. And you know, I don't know that it's ever going to disappear. I'm not sure, but it's there. But if you have a look at what he looked like 6 years ago to what he looks like today, is freaking unbelievable. Excuse me for getting so pumped, but it's like, that's my life, you know, that's my children's husband, and we'll do anything we can. And we've had a excuse me, we had a month or so dose of collagen and felt amazing. So now we just get that and we'll get started straight away. We just started yesterday, and what we are capable of doing, and Sean's 40, he's 48, he's sitting over there listening to this call, 48, he just turned 48. And what my husband can do in a day is just ridiculous, honestly. Still working physically on the tools every single day, surfs every day, runs every day. There's just no stopping him. And those biological ages that I mentioned, that is tested. We've gone to have those testings, and before he started, his biological age was actually older than his actual age, and now we've reduced that by like 10 years. So we're super excited that collagen is going to get here, Axio is here, and NAD is here. And like I said, we could unpack, like NAD has been a game changer for us, and you must feel that as well, being in the gym. It gives you that incredible power, incredible recovery. But we can't talk about everything all in one time, because everybody is like, take out of this what you get, and if it's of interest to you, we are always at service to bring the information to the people. So that, is your dog's barking?
Oh no, she's just ringing her bell to go outside.
Oh, please. That's so cool. You don't have to mute. It's fine. It's fine. This is this is real life stuff,
It's a family show.
Exactly. It's a family show, and we love, I mean, let's not even get started about activating the animals too. So
True.
Exactly.
One thing I was going to add, Andrea, is because you mentioned NAD and Axio, and I've been activating my body since 2015. And in 2019, I decided to go and get my PhD in holistic nutrition. And so as I'm studying and finalizing, getting through the year and a half that I did to do that, I started studying the brain. And one of the books I was studying, it was talking about a doctor, and here's what you can do for better brain health. Here's ingredients you can start taking right here and now. And it was every ingredient inside of Protandim NRF2, Protandim NAD, and our Axio. And I'm 5-6 years into the company at this point, and it's just continually solidifying and validating our decisions to not only be a part of the company, but to put these products in our bodies.
I have got goosebumps, honestly. That's so amazing. Like, we are just a million steps ahead of the rest of the world. And it's there in the literature if you go and have a look, you know. So it is our duty to share unapologetically, and encourage people to please just take a look at what this is for your own benefit, not, you know, not for us. It's for you, because it can give you an incredibly hopeful future. It can change your life, whether you are already feeling like you are amazing and fit and healthy, or you already feel like, I'm already taking some of those ingredients in another way. They are not in the way that our scientists have formulated our products. And that is a guarantee. That is a guarantee. We've got published studies to back what we have. And our company is the world's leading biotech company with formulations that nobody else has. So I think, even though we could talk all night, we'll probably leave it there. But I would love to do some individual short snippets of, like, you guys have got so much knowledge on outside of the company in terms of health and fitness and wellness, and with the products as well. If we could do little, you know, a snippet about the Tri-Synergizer or the Axio or the collagen, just so that we can bring awareness, and specifically coming from Jessie, because it's that male to male thing. I really want to help the male community just listen in, you know, take a moment and listen in, because I know, especially in the gyms, like 90% of the guys that I wanted to be on this call are all busy training someone this morning. And they were all busy training someone last night too at 8 o'clock. You know, they're training people in the morning, then they're doing their gym, you know, gym management business, then they're training people at night. Like, that is going to lead to burnout. You need to be able to take a moment to see, how are you going to support yourself? And fast forward 10 years, are you still going to be able to do that?
Yeah. I mean, that was me in 2015. I wasn't training people, but I was managing a gym, you know, 50, 60 hours a week. And they weren't, you know, you didn't get a 9 to 5 when you managed a gym. It was when someone walked in the office, a lot of times it was, hey, I'm going to go get my workout in. No, you're not. Here comes a new person. And I was living on energy drinks, you know, pre-workouts. I don't know what you guys have in Australia, but here we've got Bangs and C4 and Red Bull and Monsters and all the things. And to a point where a good friend of mine who's very health conscious was like, I'm not really sure how your heart's still in your chest, but it was the only way I was surviving. And one by one, as we added in activation, I realized that I just didn't crave the energy drinks anymore, because my body was starting to naturally give me the energy that I was lacking prior to that.
That's a beautiful key to end off on, because once you start getting activated, your body starts doing just what it's meant to do for you, and you can let go of those things that you feel like you're so addicted to, if it's energy drinks or if it's so many coffees. Or for me, I was actually addicted to acai when I was pregnant with my second child, which is full of antioxidants. But then when I got activated, my body was producing those antioxidants, so I never needed it, but I was literally needing it every single day prior to that. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It's so awesome to have you guys talking to our Australian market, and I look forward to bringing you back again. Until then, have a very blessed Christmas. I can see you've got your tree there, and you're going to have a wonderful time. Everybody who's on the call, thank you so much for taking the time to honor yourself, first of all, to be here, and honor someone else by sharing this with them, because you could be the reason that their life has changed. I know that every single day I still thank the people that said yes ahead of me to bring this to Australia, to bring it into my household, because my family would definitely not be where we are today if it wasn't for activation. And that is like the absolute truth. Anyone who wants to know our story is welcome to contact me. Anyone who wants to speak to Jesse and Erika on a deeper level, contact them. These guys are at your service. We are in the service industry. We want to help people live well. So massive thank you from myself and everybody. Take care and God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.